The first step in deciding which candidate gets the Republican presidential nomination begins in Iowa this evening, where temperatures have dropped to minus 26 degrees Celsius. Latest polls put Donald Trump in the lead, with Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis battling for second place. But will Mr. Trump's legal woes derail his campaign? Well, joining me now, live from Alexandria in Virginia, is Donald Trump's former White House press secretary, Sean Spicer. Great to have you with us. So is the snow at least giving reporters something to talk about in what could be pretty anticlimactic?
I think, Jonathan, that's the right question right now. This is all about turnout. Iowa tonight, there's 40 delegates at stake. Remember, you need 1,215 to win the nomination. So this isn't about really accumulating a ton of delegates as much as it is momentum. And that's what Trump's really counting on tonight. Their team is hoping that they can get all of these folks out to the caucus sites. There's 1,700 precinct sites around the 99 counties that make up Iowa. And Trump's team feels very confident that they have a committed group of people that are going to show up at those sites tonight at 7 o'clock, stay there through the process, and cast their ballot for him. The thing that's really interesting, we had this poll come out yesterday that shows Nikki Haley moving into second place. But if you look beneath the surface, her support comes largely from independents and Democrats, and they're not that enthusiastic. When they ask the support of Donald Trump, are they excited about attending the caucuses? When you look at extremely excited and very excited, that number is in the 80%. With Nikki Haley, it started at 9% that were extremely excited and got as high as almost 40%. That's not good for Nikki Haley. She doesn't need to win, but she needs to show that she's got momentum. And frankly, this is do or die for Ron DeSantis.
So already, I've only asked one question, and you're talking about second place. In a way, that is where the focus is.
It truly is. Look, I think Trump needs to win by a significant amount. The largest anyone's ever won the caucuses is by 12.8%. I think Donald Trump will clearly beat that number. But the question is, does he get around 50%, which is where he wants to be? That's the one expectation that he has on his side. Then it becomes a race for second. Does Ron DeSantis actually get second place? Does he come anywhere near Trump? That's what's going to be, I think, the bigger number looked at right now is that race for second. If Nikki Haley knocks Ron DeSantis out of second place, considering the fact that she hasn't campaigned as hard as he has in Iowa, that she doesn't have the operation on the ground that he does, knocking on doors, asking people to come out and support them, I have a hard time believing that Ron DeSantis really can make a strong effort going forward. He doesn't have to drop out tonight, but I would have a hard time seeing how he would be, he would make it, through these early states and continue to be funded. So it's all about expectations tonight. As I said, it's not really a delegate game. You need 1,215 to win. There's only a handful that are going to be decided in the month of January and, frankly, even the month of February. The big prize is when we get to March. But if you can't get to March, then that's all then it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, really interesting. So if Ron DeSantis comes third then or lower, you think he could still stay in, or do you think he will quit?
Look, nothing says you have to get out. He's on the ballot in New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina. But I have a hard time believing donors are going to continue to support somebody if he doesn't look like the guy. Right now, this is all about momentum. Haley's trying to convince everyone that the momentum is on her side. The race goes from here to New Hampshire 8 days from now. And then we've got about a month before that South Carolina primary where she really wants to highlight herself. Even though she's not winning in South Carolina, I think she feels she can do better than anyone else there.
Why is Ron DeSantis' star fallen?
It's a great question you're asking, and I think it's for a lot of reasons. I think the biggest reason is this. Ron DeSantis has been a very successful governor. He's taken on the corporate media. He's taken on corporate companies. He's done really good things with education, pro-life issues. But at the end of the day, when you're trying to be the America First candidate, and the America First candidate, the original, the OG, if you will, is still in the race, it makes it hard to say, hey, go with the understudy when you can have the starting person.
Do you think that Haley and DeSantis are struggling to know how to deal with Trump, how to make the case against him, if you like?
No, with all due respect, I think that's the problem with a lot of the analysis right now. I think what's missing in the analysis is they've gone at him 6 ways to Sunday. The problem is people like Trump. The base likes Trump, and they're not going to go away. You look at the intensity in Iowa in particular. People are fired up to vote for Trump, and it's not just one group. It's across every demographic. Evangelicals, first-time caucus goers, men, women, older Americans. I mean, they're all with him. And so at some point you realize it's like trying to break into a house. If every door and window is shut tight and locked, it's not that you're not trying, it's that they don't want you in the house.
And his legal woes don't seem to be having any effect?
Absolutely not. I think people generally feel like this was an attempt to go get Donald Trump, to keep him off the ballot, to interfere with the election, and it's benefiting him.
And just finally, Sean, while we have you, will Trump be the next president of the United States?
Look, months are an eternity in politics, especially U.S. politics. I think right now, if the election were held today, he would win. He would beat Joe Biden in most of these battleground states, whether it's Georgia or Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin. He's leading in them all. And I think the biggest thing that you have to recognize, Jonathan, is that there's another poll that came out this weekend from ABC News that shows that 33% of voters don't have a problem with Joe Biden's mental acuity. But the vast majority, 70% of Americans, don't think that he has the mental prowess to be president anymore. And that's something that you can't fix. You're going to get older. And that's the problem right now. He's in his 80s. He's not getting any younger. People see him every day. They hear him. And they know that they're concerned about his ability to carry out the job. That's something the campaign can't fix.
Well, it's going to be a fascinating few hours, isn't it, as those voters mark their ballot papers. And we shall speak to you again, I'm sure, over the next few weeks, the next few months. It is going to be a long year, as you suggest. Great to speak to you, Sean Spicer, former White House press secretary. Thanks very much.